Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a great episode of the Lone Wolves podcast. I am the Doc, John Macaroon, enjoying a beautiful Tuesday. My goodness, I did not watch Egypt against, I forget now who they played, but it was wild. Egypt, Argentina. My goodness. I today rode a little bit in the morning, hit some golf balls. I had a coffee. Typically once a month, I meet up with friends for coffee, but that got changed. That got canceled. So I wrote a story, prepared it, and then I golfed 9 holes from 1 to about 3:30. It was nice. Irons were flush. My colleague Adam, the jock Strozinski, was like, "What? You can flush it," but the drives were all over the place. Oof. My goodness, booming drives, but definitely slicing off. 3-wood was not that much better, but the iron play was great. Chipping and putting was horrible, but I had a signature hole where you make par, you feel good, you handle business. What a great game! And then when you hit that drive 250 and it's beautiful, it keeps you hooked, keeps you reeled in. So that's why you love the game of golf. You play it and you just constantly tinker. My iron play is sharp right now. Iron play is good. Chipping and putting is horrendous. I couldn't read the greens, but I had a good time with my guy. We had a good time. Good time in the middle of the afternoon. And then we saw the update of what was going on with Egypt and Argentina. Oh, my God. Egypt was within 23 minutes from upsetting the world champs. I have it on tape, so after I'm done today, I will go and sit down and watch it. What'd you guys do today? Hope everybody is enjoying the week. I am enjoying the time. Tomorrow will appear on Crunch Time, and we'll keep going and handle business. Today, like I said, just talking about some news of the day. Kirby Joseph, look, these athletes are all on social media. We now know one of the Lions star receivers has now gotten engaged. We'll share that news after the 2 topics. Kirby Joseph, and look, all Lions players, when they go on social media, somebody's going to post about it. Most of the time, I'm in the mix knowing, but I don't spend my days exclusively looking at Detroit Lions social media posts. Hitting some golf balls, getting outdoors. That's what I want to be doing until the 29th. We do our work. We do our work in the mornings, the previews, and watching the World Cup and catching up on sports and things like that. But we will have a topic related to the World Cup and related to the Lions. We'll see how the Lions collapse relates to the World Cup. But Kirby Joseph, look, now let me make sure I have this properly in terms of sharing. Look, athletes go on social media, but you can tell based on their posts, maybe there's a message to be sent. FIFA, VR, refs, FIFA becomes business or marketing. No justice, a lot of politics. Ooh, I can't wait to watch to see what happened. There were some calls, VR, maybe offside. Ooh, up 2-0 with 67 minutes in the game. You feel the pain that we feel. United States just got destroyed. Egypt was close. Shout out to all the people in the chat, the luscious sources. Hassanin Mahdi in the house, One Repub, Riley O'Brien, Dr. Detroit, Coach Walk, Christopher P. 7066. Saki's in the house. 1-1 Pride, 313 in the house. So let's share. What's your reaction when you see this kind of stuff? Look, it's just simple social media content, but look, there's movements being made. X the Trim Reaper in the house. What is your reaction when you see this? Because you can tell Kirby Joseph is intentionally trying to show off a little bit of some knee flexing. 35 seconds or so, courtesy of Detroit Times, who went on TikTok. And look, that's the one place I don't go is athletes' TikToks. But here it is. This is your safety, Kirby Joseph, on TikTok.
My pocket's getting thicker, the watch is moving quicker. Money talk is much louder now, but I can't sleep through the night. Can't sleep through the night, still seeing your face in the glass. Why do you call when you're short on cash? Can't sleep through the night, I'm losing my mind tonight. Bankrolls on the table, watching local cable, hating that I'm able. Hey, my pocket's getting thicker, the watch is moving quicker. Money talk is much louder now, but I can't sleep through the night. Can't sleep through the night, still seeing your face in the glass. Why do you call when you're short on cash? Can't sleep through the night, I'm losing my mind tonight. Bankrolls on the table, watching.
What do you think? Knee flexing, of course, causes damage to his property. That's something I would do. First timer seeing you in here, Mac Queen or Mac Keen in the house. What the heck? One Repub says, Reaper, don't copy this. Court Major, why are you not a fan of Kirby Joseph? A lot of you are taking a different approach. Let's just focus on the knee flexing. Obviously, does that in any shape or form cause you to say, okay, you know what? Comfortable. We don't endorse hurting your property. Coach Walk. Man, Court Major, you are not happy that he got hurt. All pro check casher. Taylor's looking deep. Bankroll on the table. Taylor made media. Dr. Detroit, it causes me a different concern. Let me see some of these comments because I wasn't watching that intently in regards to what you guys were looking at. You know, I'm thinking about hitting irons and drives and why my drives are great in on the range. And then you go to the course and they just fly to the right. Let's see some of the comments here below. Detroit Lions Bleeds Blue says he's doing a lot of bending his knees to show people his knees are fine. The Lightbringer says this doesn't mean a darn thing in the grand scope of a football season, but yeah, sure hope he's at least 90% of the player he once was. NMFB says I watched this 3 times just for the music. Knees fine, can't sleep through the night. What's your reaction to seeing Kirby Joseph dance it up? TW says everything else seems pretty whack, though. Ryan wants those shorts. $515 Earl in the house. What's going on? Wow. My man, Jason. Jason in Seattle, WA 79. Am I right? Wow. Was it today? Wow. Yeah, buddy. Listen, we're big fans. He sees the NWO hat right there. Boom. Are you paying attention to the atmosphere? There's a Cody Rhodes belt right there. NWO right there. 515 just saw the Kirby dance. Is he celebrating his end of career contract squeeze? Man, you guys are feisty. The luscious sources are feisty today. Unknown Line fan, what up, Doc? Do you think Kirby Joseph will contribute this season? Because it definitely. Dude, those are fun days. Do you think Kirby Joseph will be on the field week 1? Because a lot of fans just have been in this spot where they're like, you know what? They got Christian Isian, they got Chuck Clark, Thomas Harper, Dan Jackson. You have Avante Maddox. The big question mark that everyone's going to ask is one of the big question marks going into training camp that I want to get your sense is, if Kirby Joseph has up and down, not there, are you comfortable with the vets that were added? How devastating would a loss be if Kirby Joseph has an up and down year? And how big a gain would it be? What can you expect from him? Do you think a 90% Kirby Joseph can still be a ball hawk, 5 interceptions, knock down the ball at least, cause a little bit more disruption, physical contact? Do you see a major drop off in his game? What are you expecting from Kirby Joseph? Because obviously we've talked about the offense, we've talked about it, and it's a fair question because I think they did enough of a job to replace. Now you're not going to get the same production from a Chuck Clark that a Kirby Joseph. It's just simple as that. Kirby Joseph was a draft pick. They invested in him, and unfortunately, there could be some degenerative situation going on. But I'm hoping that he can at least play through the pain for a couple years, give the Lions at least their money's worth on the contract that they signed, and see what happens. But if 2026 is it, you can get out of the contract and it's not horrible. A lot of people are paying attention to the purse, the satchel. John Marshall says we need another starting corner, even if Kirby plays. Yeah, I think they got. Do you, Mr. Marshall? Do you think? Do you think that Chuck Clark, Christian Isian, Thomas Harper, Dan Jackson, Avante Maddox, Rock Ya-Sin can also go back there? Do you think that the safety unit's fine? And I know we obviously believe that the Lions need another starting cornerback as well. DJ Reed, Ennis Rakestraw, Rock Ya-Sin, Keith Abney. Court Major is not satisfied. Considering he always talks about wanting to run, I don't think Kirby injury. Considering he always talks about wanting to run, I don't think Kirby injury isn't too bad. Ibrahim, you can go check it out. Rewind. I just played it. I played it twice. It was 35 seconds. I just played it twice. Kirby Joseph on TikTok. You can rewind and get your fix. Ooh, Court coming in hot. Jason hopes he's wrong because he believes. Jason's opinion, I don't think he plays again. I don't believe our secondary will hold up. We need to get someone. And then it just lends me to this. Whose Lions social media do you like to follow? Kirby's is always entertaining. I feel like Jamison Williams might take the cake because he's out there with his cars, where he's at night, doing the dances at the airport. Even when Terry and Arnold was going through his matter, he was still posting on social media. Amon-Ra is pretty good in terms of his travels. The St. Brown podcast is always interesting because of what they talk about. I think Jamison Williams takes the cake in regards to the best Lions social media follow. I mean, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag just too much, but his photo where our podcast is tagged was seen 10 million times when he bought a house because of the shorts that he was wearing. So that was pretty neat. I was like, wow, that was a lot of notifications that came through my phone. 10 million views. It was wild to think about. Make sure we smash the like button for those of us watching on YouTube. Smash the like button. There's 160 people across 2 platforms on a Tuesday. I want to be at 50 likes a show. Are you liking the improved graphics? I am spending a little time pushing the buttons on the graphic design program that most people use on these podcasts. It's fun. You push buttons here and there, give some directions. Lions PR after seeing his pants were sweating. There has been an online campaign for Doc to wear those shorts to training camp, and I don't know if Vito is going to approve that for me to wear. Yes, Austin, you're paying attention. I'm getting the sun. I was outside. I'm going to try to play 9 holes the rest of the week, every day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Going to try to get my drives in order, and I'm going to enjoy the golf courses around. There's a lot. I can't believe how many courses really are near me. There's like 6 within 5 miles of the crib. Plumbrook, Sycamore Hills, Bellow Woods, Cracklewood, Cherry Creek. Greystone's 25 minutes away. I got hooked. John Marshall wants to know, how's the O-line looking? Look, I think that Penei Sewell will adapt as fast as possible to playing left tackle. The biggest question mark is going to be left guard. Christian Mahogany may not keep his job. Juice Scruggs is going to battle for it. Miles Frazier is going to battle for that spot. Tate Ratledge, I think, will develop. Cade Mays will be a steadying force. The biggest question mark is going to be if Blake Miller wins the job, how fast will he learn to adapt to the pass rush style of some of these elite defensive ends? Because he did give up some sacks at Clemson. He should be great in run blocking. His pass blocking, we got to see. Just to remind everybody, I tan very easily. Very easily. Mediterranean skin. All right, so that's on the table. Kirby Joseph turns heads. I do think that at least we get to see him at training camp, and I hope that he can withstand practices and is able to contribute. I'm okay with the reserves, but I could see the defense struggling a little bit. I think this is going to be a runaway. But the USA really in the World Cup reminded a lot of people of the Lions, and there was a lot of jokes made about the United States soccer defense comparing it to the Lions defense. But I think I know the answer. But let's say this: which one was more shocking in your mind? The Lions losing after being up 24 or so, or the United States loss getting destroyed by Belgium? Look, I never really believed the United States soccer team was going to go through and be able to beat Spain, Argentina, France in the big dogs. I thought they could get to the 8. I did. Now, 30 million people saw what happened. And it's clear the level of play on the biggest stage, the United States failed to climb up the mountain and failed to really live up to the expectations. Now, it kind of had to feel similarly to the Lions back in 23. The Lions had that first half where they were balling, they were playing well, the JMO end around, the touchdown early. And then, it was different in that the Lions were leading and collapsed. The United States didn't look like they belonged with Belgium. It just felt like they got in their own head, and they played one of their worst soccer games ever. And then you had the goalie with one of the craziest, nonsensical plays in World Cup history. Steve O, baby. People are congratulating St. Brown. It was going to be saved for the Lions news segment, but I'll share it now. Your wide receiver has proposed to his missus, and he is set to be married. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll highlight it in the news of the day. Your top wide receiver is now engaged. Austin, yeah, we all got excited, and it was cool when they evened the game. They gave up an early goal. They evened the game. Tillman with another opportunity, lucky in terms of I think it was his header was deflected, and boom, 1-1, and then they gave up another cross goal. Absolutely disturbing, absolutely gut-wrenching in regards to how bad the United States soccer team played. And then you have your best player. Look, in the end, we all know, like, it's clear now. Pulisic does not need to be on this team any longer, but he's nowhere near in the class of Haaland, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe. He is not anywhere near a Mo Salah. It is like class A striker scores, and then it's best way to put it, guys, and I heard it on the radio, so I'm going to credit a caller. One of you called up the local radio station. You know what you guys said? Christian Pulisic, number 10, is the Dylan Larkin of USA Soccer. Ouch. But you know what? That's the perfect comparison. Christian Pulisic, Dylan Larkin. That's what you got. They're not prime. He's not world class. He's just the best of what you got. And that's a simple fact. And and I think a lot of people on the internet were right. The United States, if they remain in CONCACAF, is playing Haiti, playing Colombia, or playing these teams in South America is not going to help. You got to start playing the Argentinas, the Brazils of the world on a consistent basis. You got to compete at a higher level. And I do think psychologically, I'm not blaming anybody, but the whole ordeal rallied the Belgian team. They had something to rally around. They felt, oh, we were given an injustice. And in sports, whenever there's injustice, teams can rally. And I think that they took it to the United States, and the United States acted as if they had no idea what was coming. But yeah, he did. Yeah, Mr. Hassanin is very pissed about FIFA, the refs, the politics of VAR, and how all this works. Terrible, terrible. Doc, do you think St. Brown has his wedding at Ford Field? Let's go bigger. Amon Ra, let's go bigger. Have it at the big house. Invite 100,000 of your closest friends. Look, have the wedding in Germany. Do your thing. It's probably going to be in Cali, I think. Nice weather, Arizona, something romantic. But have your personal family and friends and team, and then have a Lions fan celebration. We can just sit in the bleachers and listen to music and have a night with Amon Ra, where he's like, I'm just going to play music, dance, and let's get our drink on. A group drinking celebration. I like how one of you said getting married brought down Stafford. Is Kirby Joseph on the St. Brown podcast this week? I got to watch it if he is. Man, I hope he's not. I want to play golf. Argentina versus Switzerland in Kansas City. I'm trying to get my wife to go, but I think we got plans all weekend. Doc, you know how my rage started with the Lions? Well, I will tell you. When Matthew Stafford was carrying the Super Bowl trophy his first year and gave us a wink. Oh. That was wild. He got bombed at the celebration. The girl fell off the rafters. He's like, see ya. He's like, deuces. That went viral for me on X at Detroit Podcast. Oh, unknown Lion fan. I'm going to share the schedule at the end as part of the Lions news. I have it written on my platform, but I'll probably release it tomorrow. I will share it. I'll share all the dates. Next year in March will be legit crazy for me and all reporters. It goes the combine and free agency like 2 days later. I mean, it is going to be exhausting. Fun, but exhausting. Oh my goodness. The big house, the big party. You know, maybe the Lions will do that celebration down Woodward and just go all the way from 8 Mile or go all the way from downtown to like 10 Mile. Just go all the way up to 15 through Pontiac. Just have a 4-hour parade. But what stung worse? Like, what was more crazy? The USA getting blown out in Belgium in front of 30 million people, or the Lions up big, more than 2 scores, and not being able to close? Oof. I think obviously the Lions stung worse for us. I was more emotionally invested. I was cheering. I was definitely screaming at the USA team, like, what are you doing? But I truly thought that the USA team was ill-equipped to last on the world stage. It's just not good enough. And I think that there was a little hype going on with people saying, why not us? Why can't the United States win the World Cup? We all have eyeballs. Spain. Look at the teams that are left. The elite. Spain, England, Harry Kane. Pulisic can't even sniff Harry Kane's jock. "12-hour streams loading for the doc with draft and free agency." You want to do them? All day draft and free agency? The problem is, how am I going to get the stories out? Just type them here. Just sit and watch me type them. Blah, 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 blah. We'll have some streams for sure. Up by 17 at halftime, the closest to the Super Bowl we've ever been. Still hurts. Are you over the NFC title game loss? And every time something bad happens in sports, I just happen to see Dan Campbell's graphic. This might have been our closest shot. This might have been our closest shot. Edith Paul 8366 in the house on a Tuesday. Yeah, man, it was tough watching that. It was tough. Listen, guys, don't fool yourselves. The United States is on the B tier of soccer, of football. You know, you cheer, you hope that they would have got to the 8, but they would have been destroyed by Spain 5-0. So, but it's still a good competition. I would say don't stop watching now. Watch MLS, pick a team. Watch Detroit City FC, watch the English Premier League. Keep tabs of La Liga, keep tabs of Serie A, keep tabs of the Bundesliga, the Champions League. Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes a week. Keep tabs of the soccer, what's going on, and you'll stay up to date. Arsenal's on their way up. They won the Premier League, and they were finalists in the Champions League. PSG is the best team in the world in Europe, best club team in the world. But German teams are making their noise. The transfer period is always good. So it's fun to follow. But man, the United States soccer, big fat tease. Who was the bigger tease? Maybe that's a better topic. Who was the bigger tease? 23 Lions in the NFC title game or the United States soccer team? You tell me in the comments below. Holy cow, 40 minutes just flew by. All right, let me take a couple minutes here. Let me fire up the redraft here from Christian. And you guys tell me what you think. Christian's like, we're not waiting. Let's go back and redraft 2024. Would that have helped the Lions if they were able to do this? All right, give me a couple minutes. Hydrate, stretch out, because I am feeling it in my back. I did stretch, but I was telling my guy after golf, I'm like, yes, we feel great. But afterward, the recovery period is where you go, ooh, the back. But I was hitting it. I was hitting the irons flush. Crack. It's no better feeling than when you hit your irons nice and straight and onto the green. Whew. Couple chips found their way somewhere. But I'll be back with some Lions news, a 2024 redraft, and a topic for tomorrow as well. Perfect. Perfect 180 seconds. Thanks for sticking with it. Lone Wolves podcast, going through training camp. Thank you guys for still liking it. I appreciate those that are engaging in the process, enjoying the videos. We are crossing almost 11,200 subscribers. That's really amazing for someone like myself, just a regular NFL reporter, podcaster doing his thing. You think I need 180 seconds? Every time I hear the name Brendan Ayuk, I see the catch off our face mask. Court, I like seeing you in here, brother. It's like Holmes would probably take Arnold again. All right, so I gave the assignment to Christian. I said, hey, listen, everyone's talking about the 2024 redraft, 2024 draft not shining. Fix it. What could have been done differently? And I'm surprised he didn't take Cooper DeJean, but he added a defensive back that he feels was better. You guys tell me what you think. Now, hopefully I share this correctly. This is the daily look at Lions on SI, which is still live. And this is a redraft. He takes, we don't trade up. Remember too, the trade of the trade to get Terrion Arnold is doubly impactful because you gave up capital. You gave up spots. You moved up 5 spots. He would have took Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia, number 29. Now, look at this. Lassiter, Cooper DeJean, and Sandra Strill are all developing in their programs. DeJean obviously has the Super Bowl ring, and he's famous now for dating a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. He's a famous young athlete that's pretty successful. And remember, Fox Sports said that Cooper DeJean would be an interesting fit with the Lions, and Jack Campbell told Lions on SI, and we tweeted it at the time, that he felt Cooper DeJean was a dog. DAWG. In the round 2, no Ennis Rakestraw. He takes Dominic Puny from Kansas, offensive lineman. He gets an edge rusher out of Houston Christian, Jalix Hunt, in the 3rd round. He gets a cornerback later, Tahib Still out of Maryland. Still has started 25 games for the Chargers and has 4 career interceptions. Tyrone Tracy, the running back, in the 5th round. Defensive lineman out of Oklahoma, Jonah Leilu. And those are the picks. Defensive line, running back, interesting in the 5th round. Tahib Still, the cornerback. Jalix Hunt, Dominic Puny, the offensive lineman, and Kamari Lassiter. Are you surprised that Christian didn't go with Cooper DeJean? Which pick in that draft bothers you more? Rakestraw, who hasn't seen the field, or Terrion Arnold, who got cut? Oof. Edith says Cooper DeJean should be the pick. I think so too. Burning issue says both. Yeah, when you have a draft class that is that challenging on your record, that's where your depth comes into play. So instead of getting a Roger McCreary, you could have got a higher end free agent. If you already have depth at the position, you could have got depth at defensive tackle, higher end. You could have made a different investment. I will say, just side note, for the first time ever today, I played a yellow golf ball. And guys, it's not hyperbole. My colleague, Adam Straczynski, we could not find his golf ball. Mine was bright yellow, and you could find it easily in the fairway, just off of the rough. You could find the misses with a yellow golf ball. I don't care. I will probably never, ever play a white golf ball ever again. Yellow, baby. You can see it fly off into the sky. You can see where it lands, and it just sticks out in your eye when you're on the golf cart. It is my humble opinion through the Lone Wolves podcast that you all should play bright yellow colored golf balls. Spicy. What did you think of the assignment given to Christian? Tomorrow he'll have a story about Jameson Williams, and we'll start some training camp topics as well. And I'm going to save it tomorrow. Is Jameson Williams underrated? That's what Christian's going to tackle, because he did not make the top 25 under 25 list of CBS Sports. 2 Lions made the list. And before we get out of here, let's give you some news of the day. Some Lions news around the web. We now know, guys, some dates, and you guys are going to have to say an extra prayer for the doc this week. We now know some additional calendar dates, so you guys will have it. I'm probably going to write it up for tomorrow. Man, the Messi goal in the 84th minute. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Lionel Messi. Sorry, Mr. Mahdi. So sorry. So close, but enjoy it. You guys won games. You went further than anybody expected you. The round of 16 is pretty sweet. And the quarterfinals are going to be sweet upcoming. Here's some upcoming dates on the NFL calendar. Say a prayer for the doc. Here's the date that the Lions got to cut down all their players. Sunday, August 30th. Sunday, the holy day. Sunday. Make sure y'all can see it. Boom. Those are the dates. I'll blow up the screen. August 30th will be the day that the Lions 53-man roster will come out. We will grade the roster. We'll have all the news for you that you will love at the end of August. Grade the roster, our initial thoughts, best pick, surprise pick, all that. Tuesday, November 10th is the trade deadline. This is the day that Brad Holmes, you guys tell me, will Brad Holmes work on November 10th? Will he trade anybody? Will Brad Holmes make a move? I think that if they have success against the Bills, if they have a good run in September and October, through a stretch of time when they can win games, maybe this day, November 10th, will set the tone. Maybe this day will be the day that Brad Holmes sets forth a new path for your Detroit Lions. You guys can start it now. It's July 7th. Start the November 10. Start it now. 11:10, Brad Holmes. 11:10 BH. Remind Brad Holmes the trade deadline is November 10th. In all your favorite blogs, in all your comments on social media, remind everybody, hey, tell Brad Holmes to make trades. That's right, Austin. Smart guy. Nope. TA did not get signed. He has a court hearing Friday. The prosecutors want to reintroduce the idea that he wear a tether. And of course, his lawyer's like, another court date? Cha-ching. He's like, oh yeah, cha-ching. Another court date? Oh yeah, research hours. Cha-ching. He's got to, convince the judge that he still has a chance to be signed by a team. So his agent might go on, and Terry Arnold's agent might go up on the stand and declare which teams have called. I think it would be Bears, Jets, maybe 49ers. Something crazy. Burning issues. Brad Holmes might be fired on the 11th. The heat will be hot. If the team is winning and he gets, he handles the trade deadline poorly, you know where to go. Mr. Robert Edwards, 8270 TA to the Bears. Now that would be wild. And he gets a pick against Jared Goff. February 14th, Planet, Valentine's Day. Could all Lions Nation celebrate Valentine's getting it in after a Super Bowl win? Would you do the nasty or would you be too drunk? What's the move? Have we made a splash? Breaking news. What happened? Free agency begins March 9th. Owners meeting. And then this is the day it gets busy for me. March 1st through the 8th is the combine. March 9th is free agency. I mean, I barely get to recover not even 10 hours, and free agency starts with the tampering period on March 9th. Good Lord. But we'll ask for prayers. Let us look here. Mr. Prince. So that means Shams broke it. Let's see what Shams has said regarding Mr. Prince. Thank you. The Detroit Pistons have traded Karis LeVert and 2 second-round picks to the Bucks for Taurean Prince and Gary Harris. Amazing trade. What would you grade this Detroit Pistons trade? I will say this. Gary Harris is the real winner in this draft, in this pick. Gary Harris is going to revolutionize the Pistons. Gary Harris will be the role player that you all love. And Gary Harris. Don't forget Gary Harris. Gary Harris will transform your Detroit Pistons. A+. You guys caught on yet? Gary Harris will transform the Pistons. Always smart to trade a Wolverine for a Spartan. LeVert, see you. It is always wise to trade Listen, I don't care. They already cut Gary Harris. Listen, I enjoyed the 30 seconds I got to say he was on the team. all I'm seeing right now is Gary Harris love to come home. So that's what I'm going to enjoy until I see he's cut. I'm on the air, so if he's cut, I'll be sad. Gary Harris, baby, going to transform the Pistons until he's cut. Bucks receive Karis LeVert, 2 second-round picks. Pistons receive Taurean Prince and Gary Harris. All right, tell me about Prince. You like him? Michael Shembri says, now use that to trade for Trey Murphy. How would that go, Michael? Prince, Joe, Harris. Prince, Joe, Harris. Let's have fun with it. All right, who are we throwing in? Prince, Joe, Harris. Give me the trade. Now trade Prince, Joe, Harris, and 2 firsts. Appreciate you checking in. Burning issues. We'll see you tomorrow. Do we trade Holland? So I'm going to put now trade Prince, Joe, Harris, Holland. And 1 first. For does that work? Does that get the job done? Prince, Joe, Harris, Holland, and 1 first for Trey Murphy. That's a good question. I'm not sure yet. Indy's close. I forget the schedule. The Commanders game is interesting. I'm going to go to the home game for sure. The road games, I think it's Commanders. That's always interesting too, but I think just the home game. I'll just ask it on X. What can Langdon now package together for Trey Murphy? Is it a good trade? I think it's a good trade. Someone has come in with their first grade. They say, Sean Pardue says, A. John, it's an easy A. Any trade that gets Karis LeVert away from my team is an A. I love it. Agree. Karis LeVert, gone from your team. Holy cow. X is providing some nice content. 200 people from X, 50 from YouTube. Make sure you smash the like button. We should be at least 50 by now. If 46 are watching live, all of you must smash the like button to help keep the lights on. To keep the light shining off this dome, hit the like button. Shembry's going to give up 2 firsts for the Pistons. All right. So those are the dates. Pay attention, November. That's when Brad's got to make his decision. Let me give you the news here again. St. Brown podcast. Your wide receivers got engaged after a long committed relationship. We'll show some love via those that screen grabbed it. Your wide receiver is now engaged. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously, it was going to be beautiful. There it is. Very nice. Very lovely. Very lovely for Amon Ra. And then I'll get you the photos from the podcast. The 4 photos. The podcast had it. It's all over the IG. The ring is nice. And your wide receiver. Don't do it. Don't do it. Amon Ra on one knee. Here's the ring. Whew. How much you think St. Brown put down? 100? 100K? That looks like 100K to me. 100K. Good job, St. Brown. White is classy. I think it's very classy with the flowers and looks lovely. 100K ring, probably. Congrats to the happy couple. Your wide receiver has been planning an engagement. Other news, no cornerbacks on the Lions were ranked in the top 10. 2 of your Lions were listed in CBS Sports' top 25 under 25. Jahmyr Gibbs came in at number 9, and Penei Sewell came in at number 3. Now, Jameson Williams is 25. He just turned 25 in March. He did not make the top 25 list. I think that's a snub. That's what I wrote in my announcement article. Was Jameson Williams snubbed not being named a top 25 player under 25? Jahmyr Gibbs, also, Christian believes has a chance this year to be the first-time All-Pro. And if you go to our website, we rank the position battles. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Tashard choice. So today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 articles on Lions on SI. The training camp battles ranked. Tashard choice explains when he spoke to local reporters at minicamp, he's pushing for Jahmyr Gibbs to start the year fast. Saints, Jets, Bills. He wants Jahmyr Gibbs to start the year strong. One surprise player who could make the roster, we are voting for Tom Kennedy. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tom Kennedy. Is he a long shot? Does he make the team? We'll have some fun with Tom Kennedy. And then let me just quickly check anything else I did not hit today. Detroit Lions news around the web. Did you hear anything? Did you know anything? What do you see? What do you know? You guys can always talk about Detroit Lions news as well. And remember, there's a lot of new outlets popping up, but Detroit Lions on SI remains the best, biggest, baddest of them all. Just a reminder. You notice there, did you notice? And I'll say this too, it's funny. Detroit Lions on SI was one of the first to implement videos to that degree. Now do you notice other sites are doing that? They realized, oh, it seems to be successful. The use of video in your website might be relevant. Started in 2019. I had an 8-year head start. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Video in your platform definitely helps. Chef Weisler, Detroit Sports News, says, go catch the last few innings you'll ever see Scooble as a Tiger. Wah, wah, wah. Good show today, guys. Thank you. Great 66 minutes. Good content. I think I like the way that the pace of this show goes. Thank you. If there's a topic you want to hit, we're going to start doing the preview probably next week. Some training camp talk, longer shows. But today is the 7th, from the 15th to the 22nd. It'll probably be a lot of tape stuff. So it's coming where you'll start to see more tape stuff, but I'll be peeking into the chat starting next week a little bit more. But this week should be live on a regular occasion. And thankfully, for those of you and Doughboy Steve, please don't take this the wrong way. I know your position. I know your situation, and your humble support means a lot to me. So this is just my personal opinion and what I did. And you know me, I'm still in my prime earning years. I'm still doggedly working 2, 3 jobs. Um, I'm of the belief that 6 years ago, when DTE started doing all this mess, I said, okay, I can't control DTE. I don't want to worry about that. So I said, I will work my tail off to get a power source that if the power goes out, that doesn't affect me. So that's what I did. I paid it over 6 years, and that's what I did. So there's never a problem. Power does not go out in my casa. And I busted my tail. And listen, it's not to say that some people can or can't or whatever it is. I just look at it like, in life, I am not going to complain about something I can't control. DTE doesn't know me. They don't care about me. They don't care about my family. I have to take care of that. So I took care of it personally. So DTE will not mess with my family. I will never use those words. F them. You know, they personally, you know, in my relationships, you know, my mother had just got her power back today. So that's just disturbing at the highest level. So for me, um, I am not going to allow outside forces to affect my life or lifestyle in any capacity. I will dictate what happens. Me, myself, and I. It definitely it was a lot of work, but when I finally paid it off, whew. Gavis is like, "Oh, your wife paid for all your bills." Hell yeah! I'm glad, Doughboy Steve. Please take care of yourself. Prepare as much as you can for emergencies. Do what you can do. Biggest thing I can tell anybody is focus on anything you can control, because that is nonsensical. So once I started sensing what they do, I'm like, I'll just pay and take care of it. Nope, doesn't live in the compound. We're trying, but she likes her freedom. Yeah, you got to be positive. You got to focus on what you can control. Because every time I see all the complaints about DTE or anything like that, I just say, what can you do about it? And personally speaking, you know, if that happened to me and they had the nerve to say we'll give you a $40 credit for 4 days, no power, I'd be on that phone screaming my head off. Like my 40 dollars wouldn't cover the amount of meat in the fridge. Are you kidding me? Shame that in this country 4 days is far too much. It should be never more than 40 hours ever. Are you kidding me? So once I started realizing it, I'm like, all right, put a generator, pay the big money, and just work your ass off and figure it out. And plus, I have to. I cannot go without the internet. I cannot go without power in my role. Got to have your phones charged. I got to be available for people that message me. I cannot fall off the grid. Unfortunately, Mr. Freud said, you must be available. Have the power. But I wish everybody blessings, get the air back on, enjoy life, enjoy things, and please, number one thing is focus on what you can control. So thanks everybody for checking out the show today. RS channel videos. Hope to see more of you in the comments in the chat. When Rolder was asked to name a pet, he said a lizard. Yeah, having a lot of coaches on the coaching staff is pretty sweet. All right, thanks everybody. Stay positive. Um, I think I'll be back on YouTube later tonight, but I'll be talking Spartans with my friend. He's going to send me a link, and he's starting a new project. And when he first thought of a guest to talk Michigan State, he thought of me. So if you want to, if you want to happen, if you're a Wolverine, you want to hate, show up. We'll chit chat with you. But I'm going to show up at about an hour on a friend's YouTube stream talking Michigan State and the chaos and what it's like being a Spartan in 2026. So I think it's tonight, 9:30, tomorrow, 11:30. Interview notes tomorrow, 11:30, Crunch Time Sports, as always. And at 5 o'clock ish, I will be on the huge show on the West Side to give the West Side Warriors the real taste of reporting and what they need to know. So thanks everybody for your continued support. It's fun. And I appreciate everybody that checked out the show. Edith Paul, Attila the Hun, Detroit, Gavis Con, RS Channels Video, 5247, The Unknown Lions Fan. My man, Gavis Con. Edith Paul, Doughboy Steve, Austin LeBeau. Biggins looking out for the Lions as always. Michael Shembry, Burning Issues. The Unknown Lions Fan. Robert Edwards, thanks everybody for paying attention. You know who you are. I appreciate talking to the luscious sources. You guys are great, and I enjoy peeking in here in the off season. Some outlets collectively leave the YouTube stream. I'm hooked on it. I can't leave, y'all. They collectively left the space. Where are they? But thank you. I'm the Doc. I represent the Detroit Sports Podcast, and I got to play golf with Adam the Jock Straczynski. We had a great time. If you want to, we'll recap the round on Doc and Jock, which comes out every Thursday for the last 14 years. We'll talk about USA Soccer. We'll talk about the Pistons moves and Steve Yzerman messing up hockey in Detroit. That's where we do that. And this is the exclusive Lions podcast representing on Sports Illustrated, which is a great, amazing sports partner. So great that 2-3 other sites in town are just replicating what we're doing. But the other two, what they're doing, they're greasing up the oil and playing the slappy game. And I think that's why, it's good. It's good work, but, you decide. We'll put out the content. You decide what you like. Detroit Lions on SI, I think, in the mix. One of the places you can go to get quality information, good assessment, good previews, insider analysis of your Detroit Lions. Let's talk tomorrow. Hump Day is upon us. Hope everybody enjoys the remaining day of Taco Tuesday, and I look forward to coming back tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow.